And well, moving on to some other news now. It's a filmy love story gone wrong in Kolar. A man who promised to marry his lover suddenly changed his mind and was all set to get married to another woman. But all his plans went down the drain as cops arrested him from the marriage hall. The accused, identified as Nagesh, was in love with a woman for the past 9 years and also collected cash and jewelry from her. And not just that, the victim claims that they also had a physical relationship. Today he was all set to tie the knot with another woman at A&R Kalyana Mandapa. As soon as the victim learnt about this, she lodged a complaint, and the police rushed to the spot and arrested him just as he was about to complete the marriage rituals. The cops slapped cases of assault and cheating against him, and he has been taken straight to jail from the marriage hall. Well, this is an amateur footage that has been shot by one of the eyewitnesses there, as this man that you see in the television screens, who decided to ditch his lover and marry another woman, had to face legal consequences for doing so, as he was taken away from his marriage mandap and taken straight to jail. Definitely not the most memorable marriages for the people there, as the happy occasion ended in a sad way, as the bridegroom himself was pulled out and taken away by the police officials. Well, in a shocking incident that came to light early this morning, 6 people were shot to death in the horrific accident on National Highway 4. The bus was travelling from Davangere to Bengaluru, and around 15 others have been injured and have been admitted to Taluk hospitals as well as hospitals in Davangere. The bus belongs to SPR Travels and had close to 29 passengers on board. Of the 29 passengers, 15 are believed to have been injured, of which 3 are in a grievous condition. 6 of them unfortunately lost their lives after being burnt alive inside this bus. Fortunately, this bus was not a Volvo bus, it was not an air-conditioned bus, and that's the reason why many of the passengers who were alerted on time managed to escape by jumping out of the open windows. My colleague Bansi joins us from Chitradurga for more details on this. Well, Bansi, take us through the latest updates.
Well, Nishita, this is Chitradurga district and Hiriyur Taluk, and this is the Hiriyur government hospital where I'm standing at now. And this is the place where the bodies have been moved. 6 of those who are charred have been brought to this government facility, and the Dr. Vijay Kumar, who conducted the post-mortem, I spoke to him a little earlier. Now he confirmed that all the deaths are due to intense heat and burning. Now how does he establish that? Because of the presence of soot in the trachea, that is the windpipe, and the presence of soot in the bronchi, in the lungs. He says that beyond doubt it is established that all of them died due to intense burning, and perhaps the patients, it is true, had an agonizing death. It is something that we have seen very similar to what happened at in the bus that we saw on way to between Bengaluru and Hyderabad. Also, we saw a similar incident near Haveri. So this is yet another incident, because we have seen this is the 4th such incident in recent times, and all 6 patients, all those 6 victims, the doctor says are male. And how does he establish that? Because of the genital organs. He says nothing of the face or the other body parts they're able to establish. So the Dr. Vijay Kumar saying that the face, the hair, nothing remains there. They're just lumps of, it's just bone almost, and they cannot establish the physical, the characteristics of a person. So the bodies are here. The bodies will not be handed over to the next of kin, because they will first have to conduct a DNA test. Only after that will they hand over the bodies to the next of kin, and perhaps all this will take a few days. Now the bodies have been handed over to the police, Nishita.
Right, and also we understand that after much delay, the driver of the bus, Firoz, has been taken into custody. So any clarity on what exactly led to the accident? There were numerous theories doing the rounds, but there was no clarity.
Well, Nishita, presumably the driver dozed off to sleep at the wheel because at the scene of accident, it was about the early hours of morning, and Bengaluru is still about 160 plus kilometers from the scene of the accident. Presumably the driver dozed off at the wheel and he has hit the embankment which is just beside the road. There is a ditch and beside it there is a granite embankment, a stone embankment. Now he has crashed into that. That is a side supporting wall. So he has crashed into that and the bus has gone up in a ball of fire. And he has not opened the door. Had he opened the door where the passengers were, the passengers could have escaped. But perhaps because of the blaze, he feared for his life and he escaped. So therefore, he could not move the passengers to safety. He could not even open the door, which is the reason why 6 of them have died. Nishita.
Right, and also as far as the agency is concerned, the travel agency, SPR agency, has tried to wash its hands of the incident, saying that it is not responsible and the bus is not even associated with it. So do we see any cases being booked against the travel agency, any of the travel agency officials on the location now?
Well, nobody from the travel agency I could speak to, Nishita, and perhaps the travel agency will say all these lines in their defense. But the police will do whatever they have to in the line of their investigation.
And also, are we seeing grieved relatives coming in to Chitradurga to try and find out what has happened to their loved ones, Bansi?
Well, this is the government facility. So far, no relatives that we have seen here, not even one relative. Perhaps the intimation of the person's death has not reached them, because so far let's understand 6 have died, but nobody is clear who these 6 are. So because so many of them have gotten away into private vehicles and gone away to their destinations in Davangere or Bengaluru, and the agency, the travel agency, is still not sure who is gone safe and who is really dead. So perhaps only a DNA test will really be able to establish who the person who is dead is. And also for the travel agency, they will have to now go back to those who had booked the tickets and really find out who is safe, and then on hindsight they would be able to establish who really is dead. Nishita.
Right, thank you for joining us with all those details there, Bansi. Well, there we have it. The latest updates from Chitradurga that my colleague Bansi has been getting us regarding what is the status of the identification of the victims who have been charred beyond recognition, and the status, the condition of the injured, 3 of whom are believed to be in a grievous condition. And also the driver Firoz has been taken into custody. What is being speculated is that Firoz must have dozed away while driving, must have hit the culvert wall, resulting in sparks emanating, and that must have led to a fire that engulfed the entire bus. What is interesting to note, however, here is the fact that the travel agency has conveniently washed its hands of the incident, saying that it is not even associated with the bus in question, and that the bus was associated with them close to 4 months back, but that contract had come to an end. Now the driver has been taken into custody by the Hiriyur police. Questioning the driver, probably more details will emerge. Well, in fact, the police officials have taken the driver Firoz into custody. Also, surprisingly, many of the relatives have not turned up in the hospitals as yet. The doctors will also not be handing over the bodies to the kin of the deceased as yet, as the DNA test is to be conducted to ascertain the identity. What the doctors have said is that all the 6 deceased are male, and that their bodies have been charred beyond recognition. And the police officials are still trying to ascertain what could have led to the accident. But this is something that we are seeing in a series of such bus accidents. The first one, of course, being from October 2013, when a bus belonging to Jabbar Travels crashed into a culvert in Mehboob Nagar in Andhra Pradesh, killing 45 passengers on board. Next came an incident in Bengaluru in November 2013 when a KSRTC bus went up in flames in Gorguntepalle, but fortunately the driver and the conductor were alert enough to help all the passengers out of the bus before it went up in flames. Then came in November 2013 itself when an incident in Haveri claimed the lives of 7 people after a bus went up in flames. In Jan this year, we saw an incident coming in from the Mumbai-Ahmedabad highway. In Feb this year, we saw an incident in Kadapa as well.